Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, a couple things to follow up on from yesterday. I got a little feedback back from the PODS Corporation. They are actually working with me a little bit right now. They have acknowledged that something definitely seriously went wrong on my end. I've been in contact with one of their representatives, and that representative has been assigned as my chief contact now if I ever need anything else from them. They've already made a few concessions from me. They've expedited my order a little bit. I would like them to do more, but I guess if the pods are somewhere in the other part of the country, there's only so much they can do. But they've basically expedited everything one day earlier, so we are making progress. They've also acknowledged that I've incurred some additional expenses because of their mistakes, and they've told me that they are going to compensate me for those. Things like, meals and stuff like that normally I would have been able to cook on my own. They told me they wouldn't do like big things if I went out and bought a new bed, but they said they will pay for my air mattress and all that. So I've submitted all that to them. We are making some progress on this, and right now I'm kind of just waiting for them to go through the process and get everything resolved. Right now what they want to do is go back and listen to all the telephone calls that I've made with their representatives and try and figure out where they went wrong. I'm not going to say I went wrong because to my knowledge I didn't do anything wrong, but that's where we are right now. I do have one request. A number of people in the YouTube comment sections have said that they're going on to POD's Facebook page and leaving negative reviews. I appreciate the effort on everyone's part to help me resolve this issue, but right now we're in the talking phase, and if it appears that I'm sicking a mob on them, that may be counterproductive. So it may come to a point where that comes in handy, but for now I'd like everyone to just kind of lay low and stand down until we get this resolved. They are talking to me. I think they're trying to resolve this, so let's just kind of go easy on them for a short period of time. I would really appreciate that. So the prediction was today I was maybe going to get a little rain here. Do have a real nice weather system going through Texas, but as usual it's moving north of me. So I don't know, they keep predicting that in 4 hours it will move my way and I'll start getting a little rain. But my experience is, especially with this particular website, is they do, when there's rain predicted, they have what I call 4 hours in holding, where they basically say, yeah, there's rain coming, it'll be there in 4 hours, and you wait an hour and it's still 4 hours away. So I don't know, we'll see. Looks like maybe that's kind of a nasty storm. I might not want to be in the middle of that one anyway, so I don't know. Maybe me and poor little Waco here is just going to get a little sprinkling, but we'll see. Also in the comments sections from yesterday's video was several people that suggested that in terms of these drawers with the bad sliders on them, that maybe I could take the long ones off, switch the rails between the two, and that would fix the problem. Unfortunately, the long drawer has the longer of the two slides and the short drawer has the shorter of the two slides, so that's really not going to benefit us a whole lot. I did start thinking about this a little bit though. In a couple days when my pods arrive, I'm going to, among other things, get my tools. And one of the things that's in my tool, in the pod with the tools, is my bandsaw. And I was thinking maybe I could fix this one at least by just shaving a couple inches off of this on this end on both of them, and then push the whole thing in. That will, that's maybe a simple fix to this. Unfortunately, I don't know there's much I can do about that one, sort of replacing the sliders themselves, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on this because this isn't really my problem. If they want me to install it and they buy the parts, I'll consider that. But right now, I'm just considering what my options are. While I was out and about this morning, I stopped by at the local Home Depot just to buy some wood glue so that when my tools did come in a couple days, I'll be in a position to repair those drawers and do some of the repairs that need to be done around here. I was actually out getting something else. The carport that I park my car under has a bunch of like metal poles that kind of support everything, and I decided just to get some like reflective tape to put on the pole, just so it's made easier to see at night. It's also easier to identify which unit is mine. That was, I think, primarily the reason I did it. Not so much for safety, just when you're coming into the place and it's dark, all the carports kind of look the same and the numbers are hard to see. So I figured if I put a little reflective tape on the poles, it would make it easier to figure out where mine is. So, like I said, while I was out there, I said, let's just get some glue anyway, because I don't really have any. I used it all up before I moved. And so if I can either get it now or wait until my tools come in and then get it then. So since I was already there, just picked up a bottle. Happy to see there's a little new growth at the top of my maple tree. When we shipped it out here, some of the times, some of the top leaves got a little singed here. So I'm glad to see it's continuing to grow here and we get some new growth happening at the top. So that's doing really well. Plumeria are starting to get some leaves too. Probably time to water them a little bit just in case it doesn't rain today. Only 3 years old, but we get that in the ground, and in 20 years or so that should be a nice shade tree. Also found an errant golf ball in my backyard. Didn't even know there was a golf course in the area. So that's the current prediction for the next few days. When I got up this morning, they were saying 80% chance of rain today, and that the rain would arrive around noon or 1 o'clock. Well, as you can see, it's 2:30 right now, and short of that little burst that we got a couple minutes ago, which has already blown over and has passed, there hasn't really been a whole lot of rain. Now they're saying maybe it's 6:30, so like I said, 4 hours in holding. Hopefully tonight will be where all the action happens. But looking at this, if I looked at this prediction from California, 20%, 50%, 20%, I'd say, yeah, okay, so it's not going to rain. I don't have enough experience yet with the weather in Texas to say how accurate that will or will not be. I guess we'll just wait and find out. Seems like there's plenty of activity in the area, just not a lot of rainfall associated with it yet. It's kind of like getting pecked to death by birds, but not actually having anything real serious happen. Like I said, everything's moving either east or west of me. Wouldn't mind getting a little bit of rain, but I gotta admit, being in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas right now, maybe that's not the good kind of rain. Looks like the kind of storm that might produce some tornadoes. So there have been a few comments in the comment section about my tortoise Flash and what happened to her. Flash is staying with my parents. They weren't really receptive to letting me have the cat stay there, but they were more than happy to let Flash hang out for a while. Flash is really kind of an easy, low-maintenance pet. You don't really have to do anything with her. Just make sure she can't get out of the yard, and she'll take care of herself. She'll, find something in the yard to graze on, and she'll be fine. So she's been hanging out with my parents, and will probably continue to be there until I move into a house and then have a place that she can stay. A couple of days ago, my father sent me a photograph of Flash and told me of an interesting story that had happened. Apparently, Flash has always been really kind of timid and kind of tried to stay away from people. You got too close to her, she'd either move away from you or just kind of pull into her shell and hide. But he was saying that he was out in the backyard the other day, and she actually kind of walked right up to him. I can't say that it has anything to do with the fact that she likes them better, probably just the fact that she's being spoiled by them, getting strawberries and all sorts of treats that she wouldn't normally get at home. So somebody mentioned in the comments section of one of my videos about a week or two ago that now that I live in tornado country, I probably ought to get myself a NOAA weather radio. I'd been thinking about that too, and that kind of pushed me into doing a little bit more about it. I did some research online, did some looking around. Actually, I went to Walmart and went to Best Buy, and I really couldn't find a good choice. But when I looked online, I found this particular model that I really thought looked like it was a radio that would do what I wanted to do. And I could have gotten it on Amazon, but Amazon was back ordered a couple days, and so I just decided to go to Midland directly and see where they suggested that I buy it. And turns out they recommended that Cabela's was maybe an option. And turns out there is a Cabela's real nearby to me, so I went over there and they had one in stock, and so I picked up one of those. Thought that would be a good thing to have. And then when I was wandering around the store, I found a toy for me. I'd seen an internet ad on this. I don't think it ever would have been on TV in California, so I'm guessing it was something that came across my timeline a while back. This is basically, it's a shotgun that fires table salt, and it's basically a fly swatter. So, I don't know, a toy for me. Be belly quiet. I'm hunting insects. Alright, enough of that silliness. That's really all I have today. As always, thank you for watching Escaping the Mouse, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.